What's an LBFM, an LBH, an NBSB, or a 304? Welcome to the Philippine Unicorn Bible. In today's quick episode, I'll break down 9 slang acronyms and phrases you might come across in Filipino dating culture. These are good to know, so let's dive in. Number 1, NBSB. This stands for No Boyfriend Since Birth. Some Filipinas might mention their NBSB when you start chatting with them. Be careful, this can be tricky. Sometimes it's just a polite way of saying they're not actually dateable. If a Filipina in her 20s or 30s says she's NBSB, it could mean several things. She might be a lesbian, afraid of men, extremely picky, very shy, or simply not interested in relationships. That said, occasionally you'll meet a genuinely amazing woman who's never had a boyfriend and is just a late bloomer. If you click with her, consider yourself lucky. But generally, if 1,000 guys have tried and failed with an NBSB, your chances might be slim. Number 2, 304. This term refers to a Filipina who's a gold digger or has a high body count. It comes from typing 304 on a calculator and turning it upside down. It looks like the word HO. Here's the tricky part: appearances can be deceiving. Some women assumed to be 304s might actually have a low body count, while someone who seems sweet and innocent may have more experience than you'd expect. The reality? There are plenty of 304s in the Philippines, so enjoy but stay cautious. Number 3, LBH. This term stands for Loser Back Home, or LBH. It's more commonly used in Thailand and Japan, though some people use it here too. Essentially, it refers to a foreigner who struggled romantically at home but comes to Asia and finds success in the dating scene. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. Like I always say, go where your value is. If you're the world's best fisherman, you won't catch any fish hundreds of kilometers from the ocean. If you're the world's best golfer, you need to be near a course where you can sink some balls. The same principle applies here. When you arrive, you'll notice some stunning Filipinos paired with men who might seem average or below average. That's part of the fun. Never judge a book by its cover. Sometimes the guy who looks like a loser is loyal, loving, and treating her right, while someone who seems attractive might have a history of cheating. If you visit nightlife districts, you'll likely see plenty of LBHS wandering around during the day or late at night, but that's fine. Filipinos are happy to enjoy themselves, the men get their experiences, and everyone wins. The truth is, when dating in Asia, people will judge you. Let them. Don't worry about what others think. Those who obsess over opinions are often the ones losing out in life. Just come, do your thing, and focus on yourself. Number 4, OP. This stands for Other People's Stuff. The term comes from a 90s rap song by Naughty by Nature. I use it all the time. For example, if a guy is giving money to a Filipino who clearly has another man in the picture, he's paying for OP. If you're sending money to people you meet on dating apps, there's a very high chance, about 98%, that it's OP. And that's okay if you're lonely and just looking for conversation or connection. There are a huge number of guys in the Philippines sending money to Filipinas who think they're girlfriends, while at the same time, other guys are hooking up with them behind the scenes. So if you're constantly sending money to a Filipina and she's not reciprocating intimacy, you're basically just paying for attention. Which brings me to number 5, the term simp. Simp comes from simpleton, and it's a word I see all the time in YouTube comments. Guys calling other guys simps. A simp is someone who shows excessive attention, kindness, or sympathy towards someone, usually someone who doesn't return the same interest in pursuit of a relationship. In other words, it's slang for the classic nice guy. There are clearly a lot of simps in the Philippines, and if you act like one, you'll probably get taken advantage of. But here's why I roll my eyes when people use the word. Sometimes, when someone leaves a nice comment or tip on my videos, other people will just jump in and call them a simp. It seems like being polite or supportive is enough to earn the label. Often the guys calling others simps are the real simps. There's nothing more simp than sitting in the YouTube comments typing simp over and over at other guys. Here's the truth. In life, there are two types of guys: those who make things happen and those who sit around judging the guys who do. Sure, when you show up you might be too nice or make mistakes, but at least you're taking action instead of worrying about what others are doing. Those who only judge, those are the real simps. Number 6, LBFM. This stands for Little Brown Machine. The term comes from US military personnel who were stationed in the Philippines at places like Subic Naval Base and Clark Air Base, and noticed how eager some Filipinas could be. While LBFM is considered derogatory and offensive, it's mostly guy talk and not meant to be taken too seriously. And let's be honest, it's partially true. Many Filipinas enjoy sex. If you show up here, you're going to notice one thing right away. There are a lot of babies at the mall. And that naturally makes you wonder, where do babies come from? Unsurprisingly, the top search term on PH is PI, which is another way of saying Filipina. And the Philippines ranks number 1 in the world for watching adult videos. So when people talk about LBFM, it can be offensive, but honestly, there's a grain of truth in it. Filipinas are often tiny, tan, and yes, horny. Guilty as charged. Number 7. Babro. This word literally means butterfly, but it's slang a Filipina might use to describe a foreigner who sleeps with, flirts with, dates, or chases a lot of Filipinos. In other words, she's playfully calling you a womanizer. Here's my advice. Filipinos know foreigners often come here looking for casual fun, so when you arrive, never mention past trips, exes, or Filipino dates, and avoid dropping Tagalog words too soon. If it's obvious you've dated many Filipinas, she'll quickly put you in the pabero, womanizer category. Number 8. Bolero. This means a sweet talker or flatterer. If you compliment a Filipina, telling her she's the most beautiful girl in the Philippines, she might respond by calling you a bolero. Essentially, it's her way of saying you're full of it, but also flirting with you. Your move? Just laugh it off and say something like, "No, really, it's true. You're beautiful and I wanted to tell you." Don't back down when she calls you bolero. In fact, the more attention you pay to her ears, the more flattered she feels, the faster things might heat up. Number 9. BJ. And yes, we all know what that stands for. Bucket of Jollibee. If you show up here, I'll make sure you get a PJ, extra spicy, with lots of rice. So let's recap. MBSB, no boyfriend since birth. 304, a gold-digging, OBH, loser back home OP, other people's PUES, trying too hard LBFM. That's basically me Babro, womanizer bolero, sweet talker PJ, bucket of Jollibee. If this video helped you and you want to support me and Jinky, you can leave a tip using the thanks button below or the PayPal link in the description. I used to make just $1 an hour as a waitress here in the Philippines, so I can survive on very little. But your support keeps these videos going, and I truly appreciate it. And as always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe for the good luck of the Philippines.